Welcome, everyone. We're going to give it a couple minutes and have folks join, and then we will get started. We have our trustee Gilbert from Irmo, South Carolina. We see that often, so I'd love to see that. Welcome back. Ooh, Washington, D.C. Nice. Happy for you all to join. Today, we're going to be talking about DTW preview. So we're super excited for all of you to be in person coming up. And we'll talk about that throughout the whole entire program today. Oh, Sarah, that's awesome to know. You'll have to stop by the booth, and you'll have to stop by our community hour, or not community hour, our meeting to meet us. Awesome. So I think we'll go ahead and get started. So first of all, I just want to welcome everyone and say thank you for joining our April Community Hour. My name is Jenny, and I am the Members and Programs Coordinator at Converged User Group. If you're not familiar with Converged User Group, we are a community focused on connecting users and prospects to Dell's CI and HCI technologies and solutions. We do this in a variety of different ways, including virtual, like this community hour, virtual reality, and in-person events to bring members together to share best practices and ideas. We have a lot of great events coming up this year, which we'll touch on and wrap up on when we wrap up today. But for today's event, a couple things to keep in mind. We would like folks to use the Q&A function. So if you have any questions, just throw that in there, and then we will answer any questions that you may have. Also, feel free to continue the discussion in the chat box. And then lastly, we will include a survey at the end of the event today. This feedback is very much appreciated for all future events that we have. So with that, I will pass it over to you, David.
Thank you, Jenny. Welcome, everybody, and panelists. If you could just give me a thumbs up if my audio is good. Fantastic. Thanks, Shannon. Thanks, Chris. Folks, I'm super excited. We are within a month away from DTW Live, back in person in Vegas for those attending. And if not, fear not, we've got some stuff digitally available, and we're going to do a phenomenal recap in both Zoom and VR May 19th. More coming shortly here. Thank you for joining us. I'm super stoked. Yes, you heard that, super stoked to be joined with Shannon Champion, Vice President, Product Marketing, Dell Technologies, and Chris Stanley, Head of IT and Security at Loop Up, also a Converged User Group board member. Thank you both for joining us. We've got a DTW preview. Shannon, welcome back. It's like, this has now become an annual thing. It's great to have you here. And it's super fantastic to be looking to be in person. I've got my tickets, I've got my lodging. I think I can pack, but I might be out of practice with that one. Folks, if you're gonna be there, please holler in the chat. We wanted this to be engaging, ask questions, make comments. We are gonna run through what we think is kind of curated information for Converged User Group members for DTW, and we want this to be engaging. Shannon, welcome. I'm going to get ready to share screen. Chris, welcome. Shannon, how you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. I'm getting excited. I have that excited energy. I think it's like 2 weeks and 3 days before go time at Dell Tech World. So yeah, we're really, really excited.
It's crazy. It's awesome. It's fantastic. Chris, not to leave you out, it's unfortunate that you're not going to be there, but we'll see you soon. What are your thoughts for DTW from remote this year? How are you thinking about it?
I'm thinking that I'd rather be there in person, but then obviously looking at the sessions, the next best things. I'm looking forward to anything that is available in VR, anything that suits my time zone in the UK. But obviously there is on-demand events which I can catch up on. But you never know. There's still time. I might still make an appearance in person if possible.
That would be awesome, and we would look forward to it. Now, if you do, make sure you land in time for the annual Converged User Group meeting at DTW, Tuesday, May 3rd, 3 to 5 p.m. in Venetian Ballroom G. Folks who were there in 2019, we had a packed room, over 300 folks, incredible customer panels lined up this year. We have SMC, manufacturing company, doing incredible stuff with VCF on VX Rail. We have CVS Health doing a phenomenal IT transformation journey, and man, can they have so many incredible things to share. It's going to be tough to pick the key ones, but from the conversations I've had with them already, I think we're going to be able to get them back to the user group and do a bunch of check-ins with them on how that's going. We also have NatWest. Chris, you know NatWest, right?
I do. They're very well known in the UK for banking. Yes,
they're going to be. This is going to be a phenomenal customer panel available. Talking. Let's see. We've got PowerFlex, VX Rail, VCF on VX Rail, and VX Block. We're hitting the whole portfolio. Those will be fantastic conversations. We'll have Rick Reddy from Dell Technologies and Matt Paul from Dell Technologies to give us an update. So the plug there, if you're attending DTW, please register convergeusergroup.com/events and join us there. After we get through the stage program, of course, we'll have the world famous Converged User Group networking portion with conversation stations available. We'll be highlighting one of our other board members and key customers, New Belgium Brewing, we might have some of their tasty beverages. Adam Little, another board member, will be there to answer questions. It's going to be a fantastic time. And if you can't make it, don't worry, because Chris, what are we doing on Thursday, May 19th in VR?
We're having a converged event, which we cannot wait for.
We are. For those who have headsets, you can put them on and you can join. Chris can talk to Shannon and myself, or JT or Adam, who were there in person. If you're not able to make it and you have a headset, we are going to pull you into VR and let you have this interaction, full immersion experience with the folks who are there. And if you don't have a headset, please join us, because we do a phenomenal job. The team, Ann and Josh and the Zoom folks, really know how to make it engaging, and we'll get the information through, and we'll be able to share with you some of these really cool virtual reality customer spaces that we're developing with Dell Technologies.
And if you don't have a headset, get one. They're really good. Even not just for golf games, David, eh?
Yes. Well, no, Golf Plus is fantastic. So Shannon, I got my shameless plug out of the way.
Okay.
What should members think about with DTW coming up? We've got an agenda at a glance. Where should we start?
Well, I would like to start by saying I look forward to seeing any of you that are there in person at the Converge User Group event on Tuesday, because I will be there. So looking forward to, meeting people with legs and not just Zoom boxes. So that will be very exciting. And really for Dell Tech World this year, we've had a 2-year break. And so it gives us an opportunity to kind of redesign around what we've learned. And what we've learned is that not everyone's going to be there in person. So there are lots of opportunities for hybrid and digital participation. So the other thing is, you'll notice that there's keynotes on the first 2 days, but not like 3 days. And the keynotes are an hour long. So what we've learned is that, people want to get deeper into the technology. The keynote is like the teaser, the test, the taste of like what's happening. But, you know, really augmenting the schedule with deeper content with, you know, trailblazers and luminary luncheons and things like that, and really letting the attendees get into the breakout sessions, either in person or digitally. You know, we have several breakout sessions on, some are, you know, later in the deck, but really, you know, between 100 level, 200 level, and 300 level this year, more than any other year, we're really leaning into the 200 and 300 level, because we've heard from attendees like you that like are saying, we really want technical depth. Like that's really what we're looking to get out of the event. So it's designed around that particular element. Now, obviously in a digital format, it's harder to go as deep with those technical breakouts, but we will have SMEs in person, SMEs in VR. So through this group, thanks to this group, we were able to pilot over the last year and a half all the ways that we could bring VR to life in an event like this. So I'm really excited about how it's shaping up. So first day will be more vision from a keynote perspective, but the breakouts will go directly deep into the technical specifics by product. You'll see some of the flavors of what the topics are, but you know, you can go into the automation or the you know, developer and Kubernetes by product. Lots of different tracks, if you will.
Yeah.
And then ancillary programming. So, you know, if you're there, there's lots of opportunity to see people in person. And I think that's going to be the game changer. Like, I don't think most of us have been in crowds yet. And so I think it's going to be a little awkward at first, but like so welcome. So Dave and I were chatting, our team just got together for the first time this week in like a real office. And it was both parts like refreshing and exciting and invigorating, but also like, how does this work again? Like being together in person. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think I hit most of the agenda high level at a glance without kind of going through hour by hour, but you kind of get a sense for the flavor of the programming. What didn't I hit? Weezer?
So I that's right. Weezer and Gary Clark Jr. Wednesday evening. We can keep coming back to this. You know, it's really nice to see the full week and to know that we're going to be back there getting our steps in. You know, how many miles are we going to walk without going outside? Maybe 4, 4 or plus, who knows? But you know, that first day we are going to do so. I can't wait to see what the show floor looks like at 6 p.m. local, because everyone's going to be there. The show floor is going to open up. They'll have a full day of the keynote from Michael and team, and then the breakout sessions. And man, are we going to hit it? We're going to do some cool stuff. There's a little teaser down here. Chris, do you know what these logos are? Might be a little familiar with them. Huh? Oh,
Which
well,
ones
let's dig into it a little bit more. Look at that.
Yes.
So, Shannon, you're talking about the virtual reality, and this is, you know, we were fortunate last year to bring virtual reality to the membership. With that, and in partnering with Dell, we've been able to, some folks here may have been to the new Belgium Brewing tap room back in October. That's getting built out even more. Mercy Ships, an incredible customer, doing incredible stuff, bringing healthcare to the western coast of Africa. We're building out a space to be able to check out Global Mercy in a virtual environment. Top Golf, not only are we going to be able to go to Vegas and hopefully enjoy some Top Golf before DTW kicks off, but also you can jump into VR and see the Top Golf environment and learn a little bit more about how it's built and powered on VX Rail and all these other technologies coming together from Dell Technologies and the partnering with Top Golf to make this happen. And also Williamson County's got a great Power Store, Power Edge, and Power Scale story. So these are going to be neat. Shannon, you mentioned that in the booth, you know, we're going to be able to have experts. When we go to the booth, we'll have these VR activations set up, but we'll also have subject matter experts who might not be in the booth in VR, able to talk with folks. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Isn't it? I mean, that's the power of virtual reality is you don't have to be there in person, but it feels like you're in person. So yeah, I mean, the design element of, the conversations in the booth, obviously there's product and technology and, presentations and experts there, but depending on how deep you get, we have the experts bar, and we can go one level deeper to tap, a remote expert in Ireland or wherever they might be in the world to support customer conversations. So yeah, this will be a fun activation, this like virtual reality within the booth itself. And we're gonna, play some games as we always do at the show, working to get more Oculus headsets in the hands of customers. So
Yeah.
I think if you're there in person, like definitely check out this activation because it's cool. And you get to, be in the customer's environment and see how technology is used, but also because there's some cool prizes.
Yeah, but it will be cool. And I'm being reminded that VMware is going to simulcast some of this stuff in their booth. So that'll be neat. If you're at the VMware booth, you can see what's happening over in the VR at the Dell Tech booth as well. That's going to be a blast. Sarah, I will get to your question in a little bit here, but I think given that I see HTC Vive, send an email to member services at convergeusergroup.com and we will figure you out and get you squared away. Fantastic. Shannon,
Basically, the answer is that you need to be able to get to AltSpace VR with whatever headset you're using. That's essentially what you need to be able to do. So
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? We do have some onboarding guidance on the Converged User Group website, Sarah, that should be able to walk you through that as well. Now, we've got this in person, we've got digital. You're blending things, Shannon. What's going on with you and Travis and Josh? How are you guys doing this blended hybrid event? Talk us through that.
This is going to be fun. This is like the high risk, high reward, like the impact, if we can pull this off, is going to be amazing, which we will, because we have experience here. But essentially, what we wanted to do is, this is the only like true hybrid virtual reality session at Dell Technologies World. And so what we are doing is that Travis, who is the Senior Vice President of Product Management for Dell across all of our ISG offers, we have a storage announcement that we started teasing yesterday on social media that we're really excited to announce. And so day 2, which is when this session is held, we'll be sort of unveiling it in this breakout session. And so I'll have a conversation with Travis in virtual reality. If you're in Las Vegas at the show in the breakout room, this is how it's theoretically going to work. So wish me luck. Josh and I will address the room, open the session in person, and then I'll sort of like go behind the curtain, join with my Oculus headset in virtual reality that's streaming to the live audience via Zoom. And through Josh, who's the moderator in person and then a moderator in virtual reality, we'll be able to take questions from both sides as we're having a conversation related to the announcement. And then magically, Travis and I will show back up in person to the in-room experience, while those that are in virtual reality will be able to go out to the terrace and meet with subject matter experts in virtual reality. So I'm really excited about this. I think this could set the stage for, how we could bring audiences together in the future.
Yeah, that's super exciting. And Chris, this is actually going to fit possibly for your time zone.
I've just made a note of the time, and that's the one that I will make an effort to join. I think VR, given the world in the last 2 years, has become on leaps and bounds. I remember, I think 2019 at Dell Tech World, there was VR headsets on the main floor where you could lie in a hammock and see you were at a beach in the middle of a
show
conference
floor.
Yeah, weird. So again, I hope that technology is sort of being fast tracked by what's happened in the last couple of years. It's really good to see.
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely.
Maybe 3 years ago, we did virtual reality on the show floor, but I was like tethered, right? Like I was on a string, and that was definitely a completely different experience to, what I'm able to do now.
Yeah.
It's so far better. And remember in 2019, Chris, wasn't that when we had that augmented reality where you could take the tablet and hold it up over your poster, and then a video would start playing on your case study? So
yeah, it was. Yeah, very cool.
that was neat stuff. Shannon, we've also, you've got the day 2 hybrid session with Travis. Talk to us a little bit about the birds of a feather and why the Converge members, this should be on their radar.
Yeah, so if you're familiar at all with Dell Technologies World, Birds of a Feather are intended to be not the super deep technical deep dive into, content and product, but more business focused conversation with some of our business leaders. So this is more of a conversation, again, moderated by Josh, who on the side, if you don't know this about Josh, he's actually a professional broadcaster. So he brings so much value to the richness of the conversation. But John Siegel, he's SVP for product marketing. He's my boss, actually. And Drew Shelke, who it leads product management for our primary storage hyperconverged and converged business unit, will have a conversation. Really, the premise of this business conversation is really related to, what makes storage modern? Like, what does that even mean from a customer perspective? And what's the role of software from a customer point of view? And obviously we'll share our point of view and just have sort of an open dialogue about that. So I'm really interested in that one. I'll be attending, not presenting. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And Chris, unfortunately that's in person, but you've got any of your folks attending from Loop Up?
Not from Loop Up, but from a couple of businesses who work with Dell partners. The guys at Constore, I think, are going to be there, and they're going to join in.
Okay.
So they're going to look you up, David. So treat them well, as you always.
Well, we can share notes on the side, and you tell me whether I should take their calls or not. So,
yes.
Checking back in. So we've got this is the agenda at a glance. We want to get into some of the breakout sessions a little bit. But as we walk through, if you're in person, take advantage of these things. We're going to show you in a little bit here how to start getting your schedule built for this. So if you are attending in person, you can register for these in advance, and I'll walk you through with the help of Shannon and Chris on what that looks like. So we'll do that shortly. We do want to hit here, it's the Converged User Group, HCI and CI focus. These are the sessions that we think should be on your radar or on your team's radar if you've got folks who are attending. Make sure that for the in-person breakout sessions, get up to speed with all the VxRail and the PowerFlex stuff. We're hitting some DevOps and Kubernetes angles, so that's fantastic. It's going to be great to see Bill and Daniel in person. I can't believe it. Rick Reddy's going to be on the panel on Tuesday for the Converged User Group, but all these names, I haven't seen these folks in so long. The digital breakout sessions, Shannon, how are those different? And what can we expect there?
So the digital breakout sessions will be live. So you may be familiar with sort of the mock live, which is like a pre-recorded session where the presenter answers Q&A from behind the screen. In these sessions, they'll actually be like a live Zoom. So the presenters will be presenting the content, which is be more interactive, and you can participate and ask questions. So I think that'll be a good format. Obviously, like I said before, from a digital breakout perspective, it's tough to go as deep in the technical detail, but I'm happy with the range of topics that we're able to cover from a digital perspective. We have our portfolio basically covered. Azure Stack HCI, we're doing some cool things there. But you'll get a HCI portfolio overview. So if you're new to what the portfolio looks like or what's new, Nancy's going to be taking you through that. And then I don't know if you know, last year we had a big launch related to autonomous operations, and VxRail plays a big role in that. And so I think that breakout session with Nick and Bill related to VxRail and redefining automation in the data center is a play off of that. So that, in addition to the VR session that we already talked about. So yeah.
Awesome. And Chris, automation, just as a quick side, where we won't go too far down this rabbit hole, but where are you on the automation with all of your IT transformation journey right now? I mean, it's always a topic.
I think it's always a topic, and it's always something that's ongoing. I think as we look to automate as much as we can without doing ourselves out of a job. But yeah, I mean, some just purely in our business, some of the lower line one things which you can now automate lets the guys do more interesting things, and it's great for their development and also their prospects, and keeps them interested in a job and gives them longevity in a job. So not just the technicals out, the autonomous stuff, but the people side of it is, it's really good. And yeah, like I said, it's something that's ongoing, and I think it'll be ongoing forever, as I can say.
Yeah, probably just when you get it there, then something new can happen.
What else can we automate? What else can we automate? Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's going to be really neat, really neat. Back to, okay, so we've got the days, we hit the breakout sessions. I bounced the wrong way. Primary storage stuff. Shannon, so clearly the Converged User Group needs to store data somewhere. Not all of it always resides in vSAN, on VxRail, or in a PowerFlex, or even Azure Stack HCI. How do these things work together? Meaning, what are we presenting with the primary storage this year that really the members attending should be, this should be on their radar? What should they be thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, you'll see some of that come to life at Dell Tech World with some of our announcements. But really, when you think about the role of having a software-driven design point and element across your infrastructure, across your portfolio, then that means that all of your offers sort of are anchored around some key value propositions. We just talked about one of them, which is automating to simplify. Another, multi-cloud. What does multi-cloud mean? How are people sort of rationalizing their strategy, and how can we make it easier and more flexible and give people lots of different options across that ecosystem through the power of software? And security, right? Like that's top of mind, like every day, right? Like integrated. And that's also like, software plays a big role in there. So I'm just giving you kind of like a preview there, but essentially, whether it's HCI or primary storage, like these are the core, design elements. Now, that said, you guys have already seen some of the things that we're doing across the portfolio, because we recognize there's value, there's use cases. And that's the other thing I was going to say. A lot of these breakout sessions are really built around specific use cases, specific customer scenarios. VxRail, dynamic nodes and satellite nodes really were designed with those use cases in mind to, have this more cohesive infrastructure that works together. Did I answer your question?
It did. Chris, for your folks and what you're looking to do, here we're diving in. I just went forward by mistake. For your security stuff, what's your focus right now? And what would you recommend folks check out as they, if they're in person?
I think from a security standpoint, there's always so many products that you can choose out there, and a lot of them seem to do the same thing, or they seem to do the same thing. So I suppose it's more, and it's being Dell Tech World, what I would focus in on, having some core, infrastructure from Dell at the sort of heart of what we do. It's what what integrates better with those? Is there something that Dell first, do first of all, and how would that do? And what partners do they work closely with that would give me an easier solution? Yeah, basically simplify it as much as I can, whilst not having any issues with threats, vulnerabilities where possible. So it's not always the best of the best. It's sometimes a compromise, I think, for some of these solutions.
Okay. I'm struggling with a little bit of freeze on my PowerPoint there. So just also available are hands-on labs and demos. So check those out if you're in person. We are at the bottom of the hour right now. I want to double check that there aren't questions out there. And what I also want to pivot to is, okay, so with all this information that we've got, and we can talk quick about trailblazers and luminaries, luminary luncheons for those in person. But if you're going to DTW, how do you set up your schedule? How do you take advantage of these things that are available? So real quick.
It's not your Windows updates there.
Yeah, real quick while I've got Windows updates. Let's see what happens if, can I share this? Is this sharing now?
Yes, looking good.
All right, fantastic. So live on the website just this morning, and we've got a little bit more information, but some of the, let's see here, this is the digital broadcast. So if we go back to how do you get your agenda squared away? If I click on agenda, this gives you the overview, and there's some neat stuff coming. I mentioned the luminary luncheons. That's going to be pretty neat. I think on Monday afternoon, we get to see Matthew McConaughey. I know Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson's going to be there. We've got some neat stuff on for the Alienware side of things with some of the Epic games and crypto, all of that's coming. So this you can only add if you're in person. Sorry, Chris. Hopefully those will be available afterwards for on demand. But
by the end of this, I'll be in person. Okay, I promise.
All right, perfect. So what do you do? What do you do now? If I click on register now, I can get to my login page since I've already been here. Don't look at my password. And you can get to your portal here. So that's my nice bright and white and pearlies. Scroll down to the Connect area. And in Connect, this is where you can control all of your personalized stuff. So you can look at your schedule and your session list. And if we go to the session list, this is where you can start sorting and building your own schedule. So if you're registered for DTW and you want to get into these things, which really just became live, some of these just became live today. If I put the keynote in, I can select that. I can select the Trailblazer session. And then this is what's going on Monday. I've checked that I want to add these to my schedule. They're on my schedule. On Tuesday, Unstoppable Innovation. Jeff Clark always does a fantastic geek session. I mean that in the best possible ways, Jeff. Looking forward to it on Tuesday as well. That's going to be fantastic. And then on Wednesday, what do we have here? The Becoming Cyber Resilient. That's another one of the Trailblazer sessions for the in-person folks. But if we want to go and add some other things, if you want to take a look at the hands-on labs, I didn't add any hands-on labs right now. So we go back out to the sessions and play around with that.
I think this is one of the most sort of valuable things you can do as well, that before you get there and start eating and drinking too much, is make sure most of this is done. So
exactly,
spend some time on it.
Yeah. So play around with this, go to the session list.
You have to clear. Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Clear all, and then you can start over again. So we've got tracks to innovate with data, multi-cloud and as a service, future work, modern security. So that'll help you filter through there. Shannon, you were talking about these 100, 200, 300 levels. Just real quick, for folks who aren't aware of the terminology, the difference is listed up above.
Yeah, that's not super clear to me, but yeah, they all sound the same. 100 level, they'll probably be shorter sessions, like in under 30 minutes, what do you need to know about the topic? And the topics will tend to be more business focused or like high level, innovation product overview specific. 200 tends to get deeper. And then 300 level is like, full out Geek Fest with demos. Like 300 level pretty much requires that there's a demo included.
And then the hands-on labs, let's see here. Something's not working for me on my selection here, but you can sort through for the hands-on labs, certification reviews, all that other stuff. But do get into it. Again, you'll find this underneath the connect section of your registration. So click there. That gives you the opportunity to turn on and off your ability to like do some social engagement stuff with folks while you're there or manage your schedule. So dive in, set yourself up for some of these things that are going to go quickly. The Trailblazer sessions are fantastic. You've got Ask the Experts, the keynotes, everything else for the building.
What I just noticed, Dave, is that I'm not sure if they list like product specific filters. So for this audience, if you're looking for CI and HCI specific products, they're going to be in that Innovate with Data track. So that's super clear. So now you have the inside scoop on kind of where to look specifically.
Yep. Okay. So I've got just Innovate with Data. So now we've got some stuff here. Here's VxRail innovation 6 years on. Has it really been 6 years?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Do we get to count the COVID years, or is it only 3 plus?
No. We're
Wow,
younger as well then if
fantastic.
we don't do that.
All right. So so play around with your schedule if you're going to be there, because some of these things are going to fill up quickly. And let's see, I'm going to stop this share here, and I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint real quick. And we're going to share the final overview so I can talk through. So these are the hands-on labs. There's some fantastic stuff out there. Tell your folks to go attend those if they're in person, or swing by hands-on lab if you are out there as well. Agenda at a glance we'll come back to, because I did get this beforehand. This isn't on the website yet, so this is a bit of a preview. These are the Trailblazers, so Matthew McConaughey on Monday, and then Cyber Resilient on Wednesday. And as well on Monday for the luncheon, we've got Neil deGrasse Tyson. On Tuesday, we've got the Game On. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Alienware and Epic Games and Team Liquid. All sorts of things that make me feel old, because I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. Crypto Media on May 4th. That's crazy. I hope they go into these NFTs, because I want to learn more about that and see if I can get my daughter drawing some things and then selling them online, because there's nothing like digital child labor. And as always, remember, folks, we've got the in-person annual Converged User Group meeting on Tuesday. If you're out there, register for it. Come say hi, have a beverage with us, have some food with us in person. Chris will talk to a ton of folks, and then we'll give you the update on Thursday, May 19th in VR, in full immersion. And for those who aren't in the full immersion, you can have a great time with Josh and Ann listening on the Zoom and interacting on the Zoom. You know, it's not just a one-way ticket. This is a lot of chat, a lot of interaction. We are going to have a ton of fun. I wish everybody was going to be able to be there in person, but we'll blaze the trail this year, and who knows what next year is going to look like. It's going to be incredible. Chris, work on getting your tickets squared away, and maybe we'll see you in person. That would be fantastic. Shannon, any final words or thoughts?
Yeah, I guess like this community has been a trailblazer. So thank you for letting us try our, coolest, most innovative ways to share stories and bring information to life over the last 2 years. And because of that, we're now able to like pilot and try something truly innovative and unique with hybrid and VR at Dell Tech World. So this is, I'm looking at this as like a pilot year, testing and learning what works. So if you're there in person, please, I hope to meet you. And also, very interested in your feedback around like, how is the experience and, what worked really well and, what would you like to see more of next time? So that's what's great about this group.
Thanks, Shannon. Thanks for all your support. It is going to be exciting to see everybody in person. Absolutely, let us know what's working. Let us know what's not working. If you like it, tell your friends and colleagues. If you don't like it, tell us so that we can make it better. Send Chris an email and say, hey, Chris, David wouldn't listen to me. You got to do this, this, and that. And Chris Stanley, he's a board member. He's a customer. He can make it happen too. This is your user group. Chris, final thoughts for folks attending or requests of folks attending?
If you can get there in person, because it's a lot more fun and it's a lot more beneficial, especially from the technical side of deep dives. But yeah, if I don't make it, I'm pretty interested to see how the VR side works, seeing what we've done the last year or so and how well that's worked. But yeah, anyone who can't join physically, yeah, go get in on VR and enjoy the experience as much as you can.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris, for taking the time and all your customer volunteer work. Shannon, thank you so much for your time. This has been a pleasure, fun. I'm excited. Folks, thank you for attending. I think we got all the questions squared away. Jenny's going to follow up with some details. I want to thank our sponsors, Dell Technologies and VMware and Intel. And let's see, we'll see you in person in Vegas. Come say hi. If not, shoot us an email and let us know what you want to hear from when we do the recap. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it's also going to be a transition year. So, if you're not there this year, ask questions and let's figure out how we can all get there in person next year. Jenny, you out there?
I am.
Awesome. Take it away.
Great job. Yeah, that was a great session. Thanks again to the speakers for joining today. I also want to reiterate the thank you to our sponsors, Dell Technologies, VMware, and Intel. If you've noticed in the chat, I've been adding a couple links for you to click on. Those are going to be links to the upcoming events. So the in-person meeting at DTW, the virtual or Zoom community hour in May on May 19th. And then also a link for our survey. It will only take a couple minutes and you will be entered to win a prize. Just lastly, if you enjoyed this program today and enjoy being a Converged member, please share these future events with colleagues and friends. We would love to have them. And as always, thank you again for joining, and we look forward to seeing you at future events.
Thanks, everyone. Safe travels, safe VRing. Now we just have to figure out cross time zone travel. So, we'll get there.
We will.
Bye, everyone.
Be well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.